Association of American Railroad Circulars procedure for the reporting information applicable to the TD V1 Viva the Internet. Alright, we're going to read the TD circulars for the Association of American Railroad, effective August 14th, 2006. The Railroad Incorporated, in conjunction with the Association of American Railroad, entirely new version of Internet software they reissue the amendment with the cancel embargo that you can issue with this new software with the AAR embargo, Railroad Incorporated. The site can also be accepted for the Viva the AAR Railroad Rail Incorporated, selecting products and service the industry products and then clicking embargoes. An embargo officer must be registered with the Viva ID password in order to issue the amendment cancel the embargo. You have to require with the Rail Incorporated sign the single sign-on with the active the embargo site. Nothing on the following single sign-on system. User ID with the password case sensitive. Make sure that the cap locks is off. You need to change the password every 45 days. Note the password requirements and single sign-on system with change the password. All the registered current embargo systems have been automatically moved to the single sign-on system. Can then currently use the user ID password to access the new embargo system. You can also use the same user ID password the Rail Incorporated single sign-on based on the application listed on the application single sign-on services page accessible to the RailIncorporated.com. However, you must request the access receive the permission application before you can use them. You must update your user profile after login to ensure the continued access. Select the user service link at the top of the right corner, and then select the edit my profile link to view the modify the view your profile information. Association of American Railroad Circular TD. To all the transportation officers of the railroad, the following instructions shall be given when the placing the handling of the embargo. The circular and provide the restriction of the placing embargo for the handling of the embargo traffic. It does not establish standards for the determining whether the embargo lawful or unlawful. The party placing the embargo is responsible for the compliance with the applicable law of the regulation definition. Embargo is meant for the controlling the traffic movement of the wind with the judgment of the serving of the railroad in the actual transit for the physical operational impairment of the temporary nature or warrants restricted against such a movement. The purpose of the circular with the tariff is to define loaded with revenue with empty car traffic, empty freight cars with trailers and other containers. In case of the disaster, definition traffic can be expanded to include embargoes and empty the freight car of the empty equipment that may be embargoed only in the case of the disaster which the damage, destruction, of railroad faculties such as bridge fires, accidents, imminent occurrence with such physical impairment, approaching hurricanes, rising floods. This shall include the carrier, private owner lease of freight cars and trailers and containers. 2 prohibitions. A. The prohibited issue of the embargoes. A permanent measure of the control traffic. They had the request for the consigner of this commercial measure of the controlling the route of the traffic to be with a particular gateway of the railroad destination which is not related to the existence of the impairment. 4. Against the acceptance of the traffic on a specified date, limited with the amount of traffic accepted daily or periodically. Against the traffic consigned with the United States government, the authorized agents, officers, except when the physical or operational impairment prevented for the movement of such traffic. 7. Against the consignment with the consigning with the failure to pay the freight charges and demurrage, enforced transfer of the contract with the interchange agreements between the railroads. And 9. Demarketing traffic. 10. Restricting business growth. B. It should not be permissible to maintain embargo against the traffic of the railroad parts of the airport, the station which are not abandoned, to which the service is being discontinued. The temporary measures to be in effect only with the appropriate revision of the pricing of the document effective stations can be accomplished, except for the traffic by the reason waive the clearance of limitations, except for the temporary measurement, the presenting of the publication restriction official list of the open prepaid station, Rail Incorporated centralized station master notes. Part 3. Procedure. When necessary to restrict the traffic movement is impaired with excess of 24 hours, the embargo must be either the responsibility of the railroad experiencing the operational physical impairment to play for its own embargo, rather than wait in such action with the connection of the embargo placed against the individual consigner or the applicable to traffic consigned with the reconsigned intended as well as traffic bills and ship orders for the consigner. Secure is placing amendment with the canceling of the embargo is notified of the Association of American Railroad using the Association of American Railroad embargo permanent system. The Association of American Railroad will transmit the XML notice of the embargo is placed in amendment with the cancel to each of the folder member of the railroad designated the embargo officer of the AR electronic embargo officer registration file of the Surface Transportation Board, American Shoreline Regional Railroad Association, and the Association of American Railroad will provide electronic subscription serve the daily embargo with the other interested parties upon requesting instructions. The submitters are contained in the Association of American Railroad under the RR Industries Info embargo site. RB, each railroad shall designate an officer to issue with the receipt of the embargoes whose name and the list of the title of the address must be public for the Associated American Railroad OT10 with the railroad.com. RailIncorporated.com is AAR electronic embargo office registration file. Should be the Bureau shall maintain a file with the embargo of applicable embargo of the information publicly. The association maintain the embargo permanent system containing all information, all effective canceled expired embargoes for 3 years. The Association American embargo permanent system is listed in the AAR embargo o.railincorporated.com APDBM. Alright, embargoes again for the consignor shall be paid for the railroad performing the switching services by in connection with the road hauling carrier traffic delivered by the to which the switching carrier of the consignor is served with more than one railroad. The consignor may begin embargo to each such railroad. If the judgment of the switching railroad is an emergency exists, it may be issued the embargo with the railroad with a prior request by serving the switching carrier involved with the Associated American Railroad contact effect with the railroads advancing issuing embargo. The Association American Railroad will issue the embargo the request for the Surface Transportation Embargo Board. Embargoes will remain in effect until canceled or unless canceled, but they automatically expire 1 year after the effective date of the issuance. No expiration date should be stated in the embargo. See Section 8, Reissuance. An embargo shall contain the following information necessary to ensure the embargo will properly apply with the embargo in the station and specific list of the affected station, freight station, accounting code defined in the Rail Incorporated Centralized Station Master. Embargoes directly gate with the territory description, effective gate, territory, city, state, province. 3. Commodities embargo in the Standard Transportation Code, state and all commodities. 4. Embargo. The customer with the railroad officer. Embargo officer must supply with the customer identification file. The number of the customer consigned with reconsigned intent of the embargo. Embargo for causes any of the exemption of the cargo. 4. Effective date. The body of the embargo shall state with a specified date within not earlier than submitted with the Association of American Railroad embargo and permanent system of the Association of American Railroad, which the embargo is to become effective. A. The embargo must maintain the effective immediately only due is issuing with the security alert with the requiring an embargo. The sudden occurrence of the physical impairment that would make the rendering of the surface impossible, the highly impractical, the natural disaster, damage or destruction of the railroad facilities such as the bridges, fires, accidents, the imminent occurrence for the physical impairment, the approaching of the hurricane, rising waters, flood waters, effective immediately. The embargo may not be issued for the other physical impairments, the operational impairments of any kind. Effective immediately, the embargo shall become effective at the time that it makes available to other railroads the AAR embargo permanent system at effective time. The original road may affect the traffic of the bay with the embargoed location at effective time. This does not preclude the bilateral agreements between the carrier that could allow the traffic to move in the alternate route. The service of the road is not obligated to accept the load and revenue to empty traffic from the connection, which is intended for the interchange of the service of the road, but after the effective time. This does not preclude the bilateral agreements between carriers that could allow traffic to be moved using an alternate route. An embargo other than the effective immediately embargo that becomes effective at 11:59 p.m. of that day is specified. No traffic will accept the movement except for the specified in paragraph 4B1 below. Origin railroad will accept the low traffic movement of the embargo location not exceeding 48 hours after the effective date of the embargo. Then only if the traffic load with the process of loading the prior to the effective date of the embargo, the empty car trailer and the or the container route shipped through the building of the facility do not qualify in the beginning of the process of loading. The strip of the road will accept the traffic from the connection with the originating in accordance with the provision in paragraph 4B1. Alright, amendments. The cancellation amendments part of these reductions, reducing the restriction and embargo cancellation become effective immediately on submission of the Association of American Railroad review by the AAR administrator unless the otherwise specified. The amendments part of these for increasing the restriction will effective date subject to section 4A and 4B with the applicable and circular. When embargo is amended with a portion of the original restriction may remain ineffective, then it shall be considered in the continuous application amendments consecutive with the number. In each case, there shall state the reason for the change. B. Reasons railroad canceling embargoes immediately upon removal from the cause from which the embargo is issued. When a permanent number is issued for the shipment with the shipment is required with the furnish the embargo number, the permanent number of the in accordance with the ANSI ED electronic data interchange 404 bill of landing gate guidelines. The embargo number must be transported in number 9 N901 NEN qualifier permanent number that must be transported in N902 EB qualifier failure provided with the information result of the shipment being held rejected. 6. Permits. An embargo may contain a provision for the permit system with the commission to provide with the control movement of traffic, including the permit shows a special emergency situation where the public necessity for special transportation relief of the permit system issued with the embargo will contain the name and the contact information for the Party responsible for the issuing of the permit to the railroad, incorporated with the active with the agent of the Association of American Railroad for the railroad, submitting the embargo to maintain the electronic AAR embargo permit system for the forward embargo number of the embargo permits reported in the electronic data interchange 417 transportation way bill to the railroad listed in writing. Alright, 7. Water carriers. Water carriers for listed in Appendix A of the Associated American Railroad Circular TD1 with agree with the transportation embargo amendment, the cancellation thereof, the issue with the Association of American Railroad with connecting the rail carriers in term with the Association of American Railroad shall transmit the embargo notice of the water carriers. Water carriers embargoes notice for the transmission with the Association of American Railroad should be issued with the name of the originating water carrier embargoes. Issued with such water carrier will be observed by the railroad in the same manner as those by the of those issued by the railroads. In the event of the failure of the water carriers to receive the traffic currently, the issue of the formal embargo notice that shall be incumbent with the connection rail with the issue of the individual embargoes covering the traffic involved in the same manner against the individual receivers. 8. Reissuance. Each of the embargo will automatically expire 1 year after the effective date of the issuance, so unless it is made the Association of American Railroad for reissuance, the reissuance request must be included the new number in accordance with the paragraph 3F of the direction Jeffrey J. Yosher, Assistant Vice President, Business Service Secretary. This gives you your water carriers that have agreed to exchange embargo information through the embargo headquarters. A through Z. Alright, this one's look how many more of these they got. Alright, we got about Association of American Railroad Circular TD2, Association of American Railroad, effective January 1st, 1999. To the transportation officer of all the railroads, the following instructions shall govern the administrative procedure for the reroute orders. Definition of reroute order, template method for the moving the load and freight cars with either the alternate route with either the all part of all the railroad disabled with the railroad due to the circumstance beyond the control cannot move the car per the shipment instruction. Notification procedure requirements when because of the circumstance beyond the control of the national disaster, some of the interpretation for the railroad may not provide service over the overall or a portion of it is aligned with the reroute order must be issued that railroad. Title 49 CFR 1034-1. A disabled railroad issuing the reroute order must notify the telephone number 877-724-5462 or to csc@railincorporated.com. The telephone notification must be confirmed in writing. The bonus should be included with the explanation of the reason for the reroute order with the specified limit and line and disabled the estimate of the duration of disability. The Association of American Railroad upon receive the notice of the reroute orders exemption for the cancellation of transmit to all the AR full member railroads, the Surface Transportation Board, and the Association of Short Line America, Short Line Regional Railroad Association. Each railroad must number the reroute order that consecutively begin with the number 1 with the calendar year issue, followed by the 2-digit number of the year for the issue of the reroute order number will be followed up with the effective time and the date. For example, the reroute issue with the ABC Railroad Company will be the ABC reroute order number 395, effective 10:30 a.m. April 30, 1995. With the load freight car with the reload with the reroute order should be handled to preserve as much possible the participation revenue other carriers provide with the shipper the original route and all carriers way billed and are subject with the reroute order must carry a reference for the reroute order notification reroute or authority. Either the prior to initiate the reroute loading of the connection of the railroad with the disabled the route must be obtained with the concurrence with the railroad with the participating rerouting of the cars. After the rerouting with its performance the connection with the disabled the route, the rerouting must be verified. The disabled the railroad is unable to handle the load of the cars involved. The handling verified and billed with the disabled the railroad to handle the specific shipment of the connection railroad, then may initiate the rerouting. Or 3. Original railroad responsibility on the ship the origination of the reroute order issue. The originating railroad must notify each of the ship of the officers load with the cars routed then maybe the disabled carrier that the shipments will or remark with the removal of the value of the other the original specified way bill. And 4. Effective date of the extension. The reroute orders will be effective at the time of the date of the issue, but the railroad will remain in effect for the 30 days unless the calendars cancel sooner. The extension for the reroute order will be additional 30 days really necessary for the prior written notice be sent with the Association of American Railroad detailed pertinent information, in fact, including the necessity of the extension specified line disabled with the ship to the effect of the Association of American Railroad will transmit the copy to the parties for the name in the section 11B or 2B. Notice the Surface Transportation Board requirements are applicable to race divisions rerouting specified in Title 49 CFR 1034.1 and paragraphs E and F. For the direction of Jeffrey J. Usher, the Assistant Vice President, Business Service Secretary, Association of American Railroads. Our TD3 is not there. It was eliminated April 1st, 2001. Association of American Railroads Circular TD4 was canceled and superseded TD4 January 1st, 1997. Alright, the Transportation Officers of all railroads, effective August 1st, 2011, please be the government of the following connection with the Association of American Railroads Assessment Directive within the responsibility of the individual railroad to notify the shipper of each with the directive to ensure that the compliance responsibility of the violation will be on the railroad and accept the follow forward instruct the bill laying with the shipping order with the showing the destination rerouting the ship of the resulting of the violation, whether the railroad, road haul, whale billing, railroad, truck line railroad, or trunk line railroad acting with the switch railroad, terminal switch railroad for assigned cars of the cars serve the directive to 145 and 435. See clarification number 3. For exemption, no violation will be charged when the car owner begins first with the entry without the joint within the industry within other railroad with loading regarding the subsequent loading movement of the car. The loading of the car is subject to the assessment directive of the derivative of the reconsignment, the rebuild with the conservative lab and being handled. Probably the original way bill routing with the original destination will comply with the applicable directive 3. The commodity of the pools only. No violation will be charged with the pool operator responsible for the following cars assigned with the commodity pools in place. Such cars for loading the equivalent with a higher grade commodity to which of the cars are assigned other than designated location assigned. Location over the assignment. Clarification number 1. The inbound load of the car that is appropriated by the shipper. The violation occurs with the violation charge of the road, accepting the forward instruction for the shipper. The paragraph 1 responsibility. Clarification number 2. Shipment origination and termination of the same switching district without the car owner involved with the loading movement. Load move with it, which will be considered a violation. Clarification number 3. Responsibility violation of the car serve the directive of 145 and 435 will be road without owners with the consistent allows all the car subject with the reload with the industry when unloaded with the place for the car of another industry with the loading and delivery of the cars empty to another road loading. Clarification number 4. With respect to the cars of the directive 145, 150, and 435, the responsibility violation of the haulage right with the current carrier attempt with there being only urgent switch line haul of the carrier upon acceptance of the forwarding instruction, bill landing shipper order of the switch showing the destination routing the shipper with respect to the result of the violation. General procedure. Except as directed within cars of the directive is 145, 150, and 435 may be authorized only by the car owner. The notification furnished by the Association of American shows notification must be provided to CSC at railincorporated.com. All the directives must be modified by the Association of American Railroad unless otherwise stipulated with an individual directive. Request for such modification must be in advance of the writing of the Association of American Railroad. Such request must be provided with the CSC at railincorporated.com. Will be considered with the following information included with the request: car initial number, the original route and destination name of the shipper, for the reason for the request, whether the emergency hardship of the situation prevailing your corporation and limiting request of the emergency hardship of the situation, how will make the other directive more effective within which the long run should be resolved with fewer directives and shorter duration affected by direction of Jeffrey J. Usher, the Assistant Vice President, Business Service Secretary, Association of American Railroads. And TD5 is the following: provide the empty handling operation for the various transportation codes, codes of the marking for cars, railroad leasing. And then it goes through the transportation code, can the railroad car load with a permission, empty car in direction, and car direct connection and order number. Alright, now we're on the code car hire rules and interpretation freight.